Hello. Hello. Is anyone home? Hello, Julie. Hello, my Julie. Oriyomi, good evening. Good evening, Shagun. How are you? Omonike, good evening. Rochelle White, how are you? Guys, as you're coming in, please do the honors and share. Sandra, good evening. Jake, good evening. Thank you for sharing. Omonike, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Michael, good evening. Esther, how are you? How is your Sunday going, or how has your Sunday been? Touch, cool, good evening. Folashade, good evening. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's question time. Yay, we're on question time number 24. Wow, I can't believe it. I bet you can't either, because it's been such fun. Everything is going really fast. So when you're having fun, it goes fast, doesn't it? So welcome again. Jane, how are you? Thank you for joining us again. Jane, you have been so consistent. I saw you earlier when I was with Pastor Derek. Well done. Hello, Olayemi. Good evening. I can't get into watch. What's going on, Rochelle? Maybe it's your phone. I think this is an iOS problem with the not being able to get in. But Rochelle, if you have other devices or your laptop or desktop, please log on through those other devices. So I would say log on through your desktop. Aristides, good evening. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name properly. Kels, good evening. How are you? Thank you, guys. Please start sharing and also invite your friend. Don't just share, invite people. Boy Moore. Happy Boy Moore. How are you? Good evening. Well, hello guys. Mfelola, good evening. Thank you for joining, guys. If you haven't shared this, please do share. Hello Innocent, good evening and welcome. So guys, how is your Sunday going? How has your Sunday been? I hope it's been fruitful. Jane, you're welcome, Hinmaya. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oluwatokwe, thank you for sharing. Oluwatokwe and one other person has shared. So guys, let's share. Let's everyone else share, please. The more the merrier. So the quicker we share and more people join us, the quicker we'll start and the more questions that we can get today. So Charles, good evening. Okay, guys, how is the contest going for you? Just a quick reminder, the contest will end on the 25th. So that's only a few days. Today is the 21st. So you've got 4 days to send in your entries. So please do that as soon as you can. The great contest and categories. There are 8 categories that you can enter, and there are 5 different prizes that up to 50 people can win. You know that Dr. Sunday doesn't do things in half, so it's not just 5 people that can win. 50 people can win prizes. So get your entries straight away. Hello, Deborah Cole. Good evening, ma. How are you? I hope you're okay. I didn't see you over there earlier today. I hope you're okay. Nkechi, good evening. So, guys, thank you and continue to share as we're starting now. Olayinka, good evening. Patty, good evening. Flair Karim Patty, it's been a while. Good evening. I noticed that you haven't been around for a while. Anyway, I hope you're all okay. So guys, let's get started. So with the contest, as I was saying, please don't forget, it closes on the 25th. So that's very soon. That's on Thursday, and today, because today is the 21st. So make sure you send in your entries before we close. So how is your day again? Okay, let's get started. I think I'm repeating myself too much now. So first thing first, let me just remind you of what you're going to win with the contest. First prize, no, not first prize. One of the prizes is Pastor Sunday's books. You know, I don't need to give you any intro on that. Most of you know. If you don't know, please Pastor Sunday's book. Pastor Sunday's got a whole host of books. Check them out on Amazon. If you're in Nigeria, Chioma would be able to, you can contact her and she would be able to sell them to you if you're in Nigeria. And other bookshops as well would have them. But it's got a whole host of books. If you're a winner in this contest, you'll be able to win some of those books. Number 2 prize is Skype Talk with Pastor Sunday for 1 hour. I've experienced that before. I actually met him and it was wonderful. It's a great prize. And then the third one is Pastor Sunday, personal visits here for you to come here in Ukraine. A personal visit to Ukraine. So that's an amazing prize. So coming here to meet Pastor Sunday would be fantastic. And where you're here, another prize is lunch with Pastor Sunday in Kyiv. Lunch is not actually lunch, it's actually a feast. You should say feast with Pastor Sunday. And then number 5 is personal question time. Much like this, you'd have your own personal times with Pastor Sunday where you can ask any question. But the most important thing is what you need to do. There are 8 categories. Please check them out. There are links to it on this page, and it's also on all the main groups and pages that we have for Dr. Sunday. So check them out. And if you don't know how to get them, please, you can inbox me. My name is Maya Waolaya, and I'll be able to send them to you. You've only got a few days, so a few days to enter. I don't want to waste more time because I know there are questions to ask. So I'm going to start now. But before I do, guys, say hello to Dr. Sunday.
Blessings.
Okay. There he is. Yay, he's here. So are you happy now? Yeah, because I can see some of you are so anxious. Where is he? Why is he just going up? Is he actually going to come out? Yes, he's here. Right. Last night we finished with a big bang as usual. Last night we were able to ask quite a few questions and a few answers was given because they were short and straightforward. So the questions about fashion, question about calling, about what else did we have? Criticism, the questions about sickness and infants. So if you were not with us yesterday or last night, then please go and check out the video. It's on, it will be on YouTube. It's not on YouTube, but it should be on YouTube tonight, but it's on this page. So just look at yesterday's date and select the video and watch it. There's a whole host of questions that were answered and they're really useful. I found the one about, it's almost like a blueprint to how to have a business, set up your business, what you need to do in an industry, how to be the best in your industry and what you do, your calling and your purpose. So please check the video out. It's worth it. And if you know anybody that can find this video useful, send them a link, please. Okay? Thank you. So let's do this today. We have, okay, this question is not, this question, okay, let me ask a question about Dr. Sunday. I wanted to start with one that doesn't apply to Dr. Sunday. So before we start, actually, guys, if you want to ask any question, please write Q, and then your question so that we can identify them very quickly on the trail so we'll be able to put them forward. Secondly, please make sure that your questions are about Pastor Sunday, not about general, because we have another time for that. But this time is about asking Dr. Sunday about his ministry, about himself, about his life. This is the only opportunity that we would have to do this, I guess. So please make sure your question is pertaining to him. So let's start quickly. The first question is, how is DSA solving the problem of not casting pearls before swines? So,
do you know anybody who is asking that question?
I do know the person that is asking the question.
Okay.
Question.
Is it a secret?
It's not a secret.
Okay, let me know.
His name is Charles Smith.
Okay.
Sorry, Charles.
Is it a new question?
Yeah, it says that.
Just today?
Yes. No, it was asked 2 days ago. Or yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was put forward.
How is Pastor Sunday?
How is DSA solving the problem of not casting pearls before swines?
Not casting pearls before swines. That's a very big question. because that is actually one of the things I was warned about when God called me into the ministry. And that has probably been one of the greatest challenges of my ministry and of my life since I became a pastor. I so much want to help everybody. I want to help as many people as possible. And, you know, I'm not the best person in terms of discernment, unfortunately. So I seem to be trusting everybody. And I think that I would say I've made some mistakes, and I keep on making mistakes by trusting people too much. Because I just want to believe that everybody is good, everybody needs to be trusted, and should be trusted, and could be trusted. That's what I know in my head, that it's not possible for everybody to be good, because there are evil people in this world, and that everybody is not trustworthy, and that everybody cannot be trusted. I know that in my head, but emotionally, in my heart, I don't want to follow that instruction so much. I want to rather embrace everybody. I want to rather trust everyone and open my heart and give myself and my heart to everybody. And that I've been suffering from that all over the years. And people who know me here in Ukraine, they will tell you that this is probably the biggest struggle and the biggest problem of Pastor Sunday, that he trusts people too much, and people take advantage of that. They take all the jewels that you are saying, and the pearls that I have, that I give them, that I make available to them, and they not just take it and go, but most of them come and use it to hurt me, and to, you know, to try to say bad things about me and destroy my reputation, my name, and the very same people that I've lifted one time or the other. But I keep on having that. And I keep on remembering this word that God spoke to me when the very first few days after He called me, after I had a 3 days encounter with Jesus. God gave that instruction that I should be careful not to give my pearls before the swine. But because of my love for people and because of my passion to help people, I think I am finding, you know, sometimes your biggest strength is also your biggest weakness. I think that's what I would say. If my biggest strength probably would be love for people and compassion for people, mercy to people, I think that is probably also my biggest challenge, my biggest trap, my biggest weakness. In the sense that I want to reach out to everybody, I want to embrace everyone, and some of the people I'm embracing are the wrong people. Some of the people I'm reaching out my hands to are how they are out there to hurt me, and probably that's why Jesus said not to give out your pearls to everybody, to the swines, and yeah, so. I think maybe Mayowa will have to say a few things about that, because she's not been here for 20 years, but she's been here for a few months. Maybe she has noticed some of that, and I just want to hear. Maybe she wants to contribute to the conversation. We'll see.
Whoa. Okay, guys. I think I heard something right there, which is Dr. Sunday. You know Dr. Sunday already, and you know that he's very transparent, very open. Everything that he said in terms of being large-hearted, that's who he is, and nothing really can separate him. But one of the things that he said is your biggest strength also being your biggest weakness. I have actually witnessed that, and I thought what I heard right. I think I heard it right where he said that he discernment, that's not a strong point, to openly admit that to somebody at his level of wisdom. I wouldn't even say level of person. wisdom and what he shares with us generally, and the knowledge that he has, and impact on us. To say that I don't have, or my strongest point is not discernment, is a huge thing for me. It totally humbles me. But straight to the point about my experience of what's happening here, or what I've experienced or seen with Dr. Sunday and people, is like sometimes I have to pray to God not to actually react on his behalf. Not to I've only been here, I don't even think it's 4 or 5 months yet. No, it's not. But a lot of the time I have to hold myself back not to actually attack other people based on the way that they're treating him, face to face, on the phone, relationship, the way that people treat him. No, it's not acceptable. And people that should even know better are the people that are doing this. Sometimes I feel like, am I even in the world? Is this, my question all the time has always been that, is this man real? Is this a real man, or is it a spirit? Because it stays calm and collected. It stays together. And I'm there in a rage, and he's even almost saying, okay, don't worry. Why not worry the way people treat you? And the same people you will still extend love to, respect to. I just can't respect somebody that don't respect themselves. I find it very difficult. But he's not operating on that level at all. It's operating on a totally different level. I think he has a different understanding to maybe 100% of everybody that I know, including myself. Sometimes I feel like he knows what I don't know in terms of the relationship, because these people clearly, they violate him. I remember saying to him recently that what this person did to you was, to me, it feels like being raped. That's what I felt from what they did, because I was right from the beginning to the end of the process. I saw what happened. I saw the communication. I saw everything. And I likened that to being raped. So I am sorry if anybody has ever been raped out there to bring something like that and say it. But I just want you to understand the magnitude of the abuse and the treatment, and how we just handle it. Still talks to the same person, to the people, communicate with them in a normal way, no disrespect. I find it very difficult, and I still don't understand it up to today. But I have seen, if I haven't seen at all, maybe I have seen maybe 4 instances, and 2 major ones. So that's what I can say. If I say this is what it feels like a rape. It's like rape in my own view of the treatment. So it does. It's very humbling to hear him say that discernment is not his strong point. For somebody like him, I think everything he's strong at. But to even say this, yes, I don't know the level that he's operating at. And I hope we will all find out together, and God can also bless us with the same type of spirit. But I really don't, I wouldn't really ask God for that spirit. I just don't want people like that around me. But probably that would be everybody, including myself. Maybe my sin is this, somebody else's is that. But the point is that, yes, I have seen it happening. He still continues. I don't know how he survives. I don't know how he still continue to see the people and smile and respect them. I don't know how, I just don't know how he operates that. So maybe during these next few days, we will find out how that happens, because I still don't know. And I don't know how he must be from God, but I don't know anybody else. So God probably gave him, only Dr. Sunday, that kind of ability. So that's all I can say. I don't want to say too much because I can go on. Okay? So let me not go on.
No, the thing is that if I would not admit that I have an issue with that, and there's a reason why I have an issue with discernment. Discernment of spirit, no problem. But discernment with people, I have a problem with it because I can either be strong in either of the two. For me, I'm a person of extremes. I'm a person of 100% commitment. In the sense, that's what I mean by extreme. I mean by someone who is always doing everything wholeness. I'm a person of holistic wholeness, holistic perception of life. I'm somebody that is a person of total commitment, a person of absolutism. So when I got to know the commandment of love, and that's the only thing God demands from me, for God and for people, I give my heart and my life to love people, to love God 100% without holding anything back. So for me now to begin to say, okay, I'm going to love you 100%, and at the same time I'm thinking, okay, maybe is she doing everything right? Is he doing everything right? Does he have the right to be suspicious of people or to be looking now? I can't just do it. It is either I'm loving 100% or I'm being careful. And if I'm going to be careful, then I'm watching after myself. So I've just decided that I will offer myself as a living sacrifice. I will not bother to fence for myself. And I will have to just offer myself as a sacrifice, loving people, and see. But maybe that's why God brought people like you around, or other people God will bring that will watch over me and that will look after my back. Maybe, I guess, sometimes when you are weak in something and when you cannot do something and cope with something yourself, that God will, you need to rely on others to be able to look after you. Yeah.
I have a question because I've seen, especially recently, when you give them chances after chances, that's what I want to say. You give them several chances to do exactly the same. In my eyes, some of those things are very obvious, because if somebody did this, then, they're likely to do it another time or do something even worse. My thought is that, they graduate in it, especially when you don't really...
Not here. Some people are not here. Not hearing you, but maybe. Yeah, go ahead. I'm talking.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. I feel like people graduate to the level of bad treatment that they treat.
Yep.
Give them chances after chances. So they don't really know when to stop, or they feel like, why should I stop? Because you're not going to do anything, I'll get away with it. Their motives will still be achieved. So you continue to do it.
Okay.
You're teaching them wrong, behavior.
First of all, we have to understand the nature of God. When you understand the nature of God, you will discover that you don't treat people by the common standard or by the accepted norm of the society. I personally try to treat people by the standard that I learned from God. And when it comes to offenses and abuse, how many times can I allow people to abuse me? Well, I don't know how many times, but I try to walk in forgiveness for as many times as possible. And the reason for this is because, God said if anybody offends you in a day, that you should forgive them like 500 times almost in a day. So I think I have got to, that means forever. That means don't ever even think about that. Just forgive anyway, because that's how God forgives me. And I know that I'm not perfect, and I know how many times God has forgiven me, and He's still forgiving me. So I guess I have to be the same in relations to other people. That's number one. Number two, I know how to draw the line also. I'm not weak. And if you have been here and you've been knowing me, I'm not weak at all. I'm not weak. In fact, I'm very strong. Not just strong, but I'm very strong. And I could be very, very, very strong sometimes. But I subdue my own power. I subdue my own strength so that I will be meek and I will be more broken and more humble. And when people abuse me or take advantage of me. I see it as one of the ways for me to be humbled. And so that's why I'm not cutting people off or stopping things like that abstractly, even though I have the ability to do that. I can do that, and I always do it when people have gone too far.
Thank you, sir. That's actually one strong point about Dr. Sunday is that, yes, he is very, very strong person, very determined. And I actually see that when he allows people to do the things that they've done, or not even preempt them, because my thing is, when people are going to do those things, he can see that there's a possibility, but he will still give them a chance, used through their words, that if you say this, then I'll believe you. I actually see some strength in that, and especially with people that are not even on his level, like somebody like me, for example, talking to him in a certain way, and he doesn't shout or say, how dare you talk to me that way. I see a lot of strength in that. But what I'm saying is that I don't know how it can consistently be together that way every time. It's to me, that's like magic. How is it possible? But I do understand that there is strength, and when he demonstrates it, I see power. When you see him in real life, when he demonstrates it with people, you actually see strength. You see, somebody that is powerful. When he keeps quiet, for somebody that he can actually tell the security to throw out, and he just leave the person to just talk to him and do whatever the person wants to do, sit wherever the person wants to sit, shout and do whatever. And he can call security at a click of a finger, and he doesn't. He just let them do it, and okay, that's fine. So that I see strength in. But those people that actually cheat him and do all those things, I'm a bit confused about that. But I am learning, and I think, definitely we could all learn from him, from his spirit, from his understanding of people, from the way he, that's why I'm here. So enough about me. He's just somebody else. I call him creature unlike any other. Okay. I think we're going to move on to the next question, but before I do, let me read some of your comments. Mayawa is because of this type of people that pastors in Nigeria have a lot of securities and some protocol in place before you can get close to them. Omonike, that's a good point here, but I wouldn't even compare Pastor Sunday or Dr. Sunday to pastors in Nigeria. No, this is on a different level. This is not even security of people coming. This is like relationship, people, how they treat him, close people that he's done everything for. So security is not going to help that. Security is not going to do anything for that. And also with the other point where people would just do certain things, people that he's already let close to him and they still choose to treat him so it's not a security matter. But I do get your point, Monique. Well done. That's DSC for you, buddy. That's Deborah Cole saying that. That's strength, my dear. Folashade, yes, I understand that, Folashade. I'm learning that that's strength, that's real power, that's real authority. And you can keep quiet when when you can say something, but you choose to keep quiet. Yes. We keep offending God in sin, yet he keeps loving us and doing good to us. God sees us as lacking understanding, having a weakness or not there, yet cause if we really understand, we won't behave like that. Oh God. Okay, I understand. Thank you, Jake. Yes, I do understand, but this is human being. This is like human being that you can touch. God you can't see, so I can understand. He created us. He has, but a human being that is this way is another level for me. So I know we talk about God or whatever.
No, but let me tell you, you are always concerned, and not just you. Many people around me are always concerned about how I'm able to tolerate people that, according to them, are abusive or taking advantage of me. But let's just use another word. People that don't deserve my time or my attention. And especially because of their behaviors, because of their characters, and because of their attitudes and their level. Maybe not level in the sense of material, money or something, just because we're in different places. They seem not to deserve my presence or my attention. And so when you see people like that, let's say they are, look at I hope my fingers are visible.
Fine.
There are 5 people. Okay, you are this one, right? And I'm relating to you. Then there is this other person that does some horrible things that you see. And I'm sure that you can see those kind of people here, around me here, even right now. So this person, let's say, is rude to me, speaks to me anyhow. But and you know that you shouldn't be doing that. This other person doesn't carry out my responsibility, what I tell him to do. That's another 2 people apart from you, right? And you see that, why could they do that? Why is Pastor tolerating this person? He's supposed to be gone. Then this other person is actually not turning up. He could be living in my house and he never even turns on to listen to my message. Or he doesn't even come to hear me or to come here to my meeting. He doesn't even go to my meetings. And he's living in my house eating my food. Then let's say this other person, takes advantage of my resources, my money, and uses it the way, and you think, why, Pastor, these things are just horrible. None of these people deserve to be here right now. Because you see all those things, because you are seeing them from beside. But the problem with that is that even though you are seeing all those things and everything you saw is accurate, right? But the problem is with that too is that you only see what others are doing. You're only seeing others, but you are not seeing yourself. From your own point of view, all these other people, 1, 2, 3, 4 are wrong. They are imperfect, and they don't deserve to be in my presence and in relation with me. But that is because you know better, right? That's because you know better. And because you know better, you could tell what all these people are doing are wrong. Because you know better that you shouldn't do that. But I am who I am because I know better even than you. And I also see other things that you don't see. I see even more than those things that you have noticed in these people that they are doing. Both wrong and good. But also, everyone that has spoken to me about another person not being deserving to be in my presence and being deserving to be rather punished or reprimanded, every one of them, as they are telling me that, I'm thinking in my mind, but can they see themselves? That I am seeing other things in them that they are not even seeing in themselves. That if I were to use that same standard, the very same thing you are requiring of me and demanding of me to reprimand these people and to call them off, if I'm supposed to just follow that your instruction, that means I have to cut you off too. For other reasons and for other things that you do that you don't even know. And for you, they might not even be wrong. But because of where I am, coming from a higher place, I see those things that you are doing wrong. And for me, the things that all these people are doing wrong, as horrible as they sound and they look, the things that you are doing wrong that you don't even know are wrong, they are as horrible from my own point of view as all these horrible things that these people are doing. So in my own mind and in my own eyes, all of you are the same. So for you to now be telling me, why don't you call this off, all this off? Then if I need to be objective to the end, that will mean I have to cut you off. Now, what is now the problem that I have with that? The problem I have with that is, with my standard, I'm not even God yet. That means that's the way God is seeing us. That means that if I am even seeing you like that, do you know how God is seeing me?
Even much.
And then how God is seeing everybody else? It means none of us deserves to even be in His presence. And we all have that access to His presence. Now, but listen, but with me, seeing this, even not from God's perspective, but from my own perspective, even every one of them that are good in their eyes, who are not doing the horrible stuff, all of them have so many other issues that even from my own point of view, they don't deserve to be in my presence. Then what will I end up being? I will end up cutting everybody off. I will end up being the only person, the Lone Ranger. I will never have anybody around me. All the people around me are imperfect. All the people around me don't deserve to be there. If I'm going to let people in my surrounding and in my environment, only people who are deserving, I don't see them. I've not grown enough to see anybody that is deserving. If I talk about you, I could talk about your weakness. If I talk about Pastor Natasha, I could talk about my things that would disqualify her from being here. If I talk about Alona, there are the things that I could talk that would disqualify her from being here. If I talk about Kate, there are things that are going to disqualify her from being here. If I talk about Tim, there will be things that will disqualify him from being here. If I talk about Ira, the same thing. If I talk about Alex, Igor, there are things that would disqualify all of them from being in my environment. That I know. I know one thing, not two things for everyone. So I'm now, each time that I hear that Pastor, how can you tolerate this or that? How can you? I said, they ask me how I'm tolerating you. The same way I'm tolerating other people, that's exactly how I'm tolerating you. So what are that reasons what is that reason that's making me to tolerate you too, apart from the one I just said? Because I'm thinking, if I begin to eject everybody out, first of all, there will be nobody left. Everybody will be unqualified. Secondly, there will be no redemption. This kingdom is all about redemption. Redemption is about giving people the benefit of a doubt, or giving people grace, extending grace to them before they deserve it. First of all, you have to extend grace to them and expect them to appreciate it later. Just like he did to me and you. We were sinners. He loved us while we were yet sinners. Forgave us. Washed us with his blood. Died for us. While we were yet sinners. And then he's hoping that maybe we will live a worthy life. Or we will deserve, we will work it out. We will work out our salvation. But most of the time we don't. So that benefit of a doubt and that grace of God, that redemption is what I practice in my lifestyle as well. Another reason why I still have to keep all these people there is because even though all those weaknesses are there, I have decided not to notice, or even though I notice, but not to focus on anybody's weaknesses. I have decided to rather focus on people's strength. And even if I see the weaknesses, I'm thinking, how can I turn those weaknesses to strength? If we begin to eject everybody and cut off everybody because of their weaknesses, then they never get a chance, an opportunity to turn those weaknesses into strength and to even correct those weaknesses and become a better person. And I'm also thinking, maybe by tolerating these people will experience what love is. And they will be able to see how God tolerates us. Maybe they need, so all these people are brought to my environment so that they could see God's nature, not in God himself directly, but in man. Maybe this God's attribute needs to be demonstrated through the flesh of man and through a mortal and imperfect man like me. Maybe they needed to see that so that they could become believers, in the sense that they could begin to believe that everybody has redeeming grace and everybody could be redeemed, and that if they see me giving that kind of benefit of a doubt and giving that grace, extending grace to others, maybe they will learn to extend grace as well to others. And besides extending grace to others, maybe they themselves will believe in their own redemptivity, in redemption. that they too could be redeemed from some of the most terrible stuff that maybe they couldn't even believe that could be possible with them. So there are a lot of reasons why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving. Is it a weakness? It could be. Is it a strength? It could be. But I think, like I spoke to you the other time, that the positive energy and the negative energy, sometimes they have to be tolerated for you to be able to make progress in life, with the good and the bad. So if it is my strength, so be it. But it's my weakness, in this case, I think I just don't have any option than to let it be, so that I could be me. And so that I could, because I'm afraid if I begin to exercise discernment and, really be strong in that, I'm afraid I'm going to pull out the wheat and the chaff. I'm going to, destroy the good and the bad at the same time. So, I'll probably need other people to help me out in that, like I said.
OMG, guys. This is just too much for my brain. Look at me. I am this one person. I am the kind of person that I don't like. The self-righteous so-and-so. And Pastor, in a very subtle way, Dr. Sunday, as is in his usual style, gave me understanding. He gave me brain immediately. I can't believe that I got it. Okay, number one, all right, Dr. Sun, I'm seeing something that is wrong with people. I have my own issues as well, right? And I'm seeing something that is wrong. And as he's understanding, he can see other things that is wrong with me. So he likens that to God being above him. He can see other things with him and tolerate him and still give him love. So who is he to be so hard on other people? That is his logic. He has this level of processing and understanding that I can't even contemplate. I don't even know how I'm going to inject this into my spirit. This is unbelievable. So that's number one. Number two, you know how some of us, me, I'm talking about me and you actually, we say, oh, some sin are really bad, but we do other sin. Sin is sin. So this is what he's saying clearly, a sin is a sin. Your sin is not worse than my sin. We all sin. So who am I to start saying somebody else is doing so bad? But even though I'm saying that to you, I'm understanding it, I'm hearing it. I don't know where I'm going to catch this from. I can't do it. Right now, I can't. Maybe later. But one thing I've learned this evening is that to be more patient, to be more tolerant, and not to think that my problem or my own befallen sin or whatever I do wrong is less than others, or others are greater than me, so that they should be punished and I should be left alone. So every time I'm judging other people now, I will judge myself first. Wow, there's a lot to say, but I just want to keep it going, because otherwise I'll be going on and on. But Dr. Sunday, what I call him is creature unlike any other. He is really not like anybody. Forget it. Try and get some of his spirit if you can. Good luck. Okay, the next question, sir, is this is not about you, but this person wants to know. I think maybe you can help this person out. It says, what does the Bible say about experiencing panic attacks?
Yeah, I used to experience panic attacks myself.
Oh.
Yes, I used to experience panic attacks, and I spoke about that. I spoke about that when I spoke about going from timidity to self-confidence. Yeah, I used to say that I couldn't even answer what my name was. And I couldn't go to the cafeteria. I would go to the cafeteria, but I would just sit with friends. I would not go and pick my tray to get my food, because I was always experiencing panic attack. But I didn't know it was panic attack. I thought I was just intimidated and shy. But it was to that level of panic attack. So what will I say about that? I mean, what does the Bible say about that? Now, there are a lot of instances in the Bible where people were there that could not, that were similarly oppressed and attacked by panic attacks like that too. And next Saturday is going to be my birthday, so there will be no live there will be live broadcast throughout the day, on Friday and on Saturday. All the time there are going to be live broadcasts, but there will be no live summit. But the following Saturday will be what date? I think that will be probably second.
27.
No, second, third. So the next Saturday after that will be third, and that Saturday on the third, I will be probably talking about my last message on self-confidence. So I'm going to call that message "Going from Panic Attack to self-confidence." Going from panic attack to self-confidence. So I'll be addressing that more, and on how I actually went from that panic attack to deliverance, to full freedom. Yeah. So I think I will address that more on the upper Saturday.
Thank you. I remember you saying this, but I didn't even align this with a question relating to you, but thank you, sir, for that. So for this person that has asked this question, this is something that you should look forward to. So Saturday the 3rd of June would be, this question will be addressed in full. So if you're there, please make sure that you set your alarm for 2 p.m. Ukraine time to address this panic attack issue. So the issue of panic attack, or the topic of panic attack, is not an issue, it's just a topic we need to address, and it would be on the 3rd of June. So be there, okay? Right, sir. There was a question here yesterday. God, that is slightly related to that. I wanted to ask you. Okay, let me ask you a quick one where it says, is it a sin to drink wine as a Christian?
No, it's not a sin to drink wine as a Christian. Because Jesus has said it, that it is not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out of it. As a matter of fact, somebody might be drinking right now as a Christian, and I don't drink, but then when I begin to condemn him and say, I'll be looking at him suspiciously and say, look at him, he's drinking. Look at him, how can he be a Christian and he's still drinking? That is more a sin than the guy who is, I'm committing more sin than the guy who is drinking. So even though we don't drink in our church and we don't condone Christians drinking, I'm against Christians drinking or smoking, and I believe God could help them and set them free. But with this particular question, is talking about wine or drinking, I think it's just talking about light drinking, right? Just sometimes, I would not say that is totally against, God is against that, because the Bible says that Timothy should drink a little bit of wine. But I don't like to talk about that, because it will look as if we are giving consent to people drinking, and it will sound as if we welcome that. But I am not really for that. I'm against it. But I'm just saying, if you are asking about God and the Bible, God is much more than what is going to you, your wine or your drink. Or God is much more than that. God is more concerned about your heart. And but if you are really a dedicated Christian, I don't expect you to be drinking either wine or anything. But like, if you are asking from God's point of view, it's much more than that. God is much more understanding than all those religious rules.
Okay. Right. Good news for drinkers. Ha ha ha. No. I'm only kidding. Right. Don't go drink. That's what he said. He said, this is his answers. To drink is not a sin. What goes in you does not defile you. But what comes
it
out,
could become a sin.
it could be.
Because
Okay.
if you begin to drink small like that, and it grows, and you begin to get drunk and begin to drink too often, it could be grow into a sin. So it's like walking the miles field. So that's why I would not recommend anybody to practice that.
Okay, you heard it now, right? Okay, let me repeat it. Sip, sip a little. No, not sip, sip a little. Some of you are so happy. No. The answer is, it's not a sin, but it could become a sin, especially if you're attached to it, that you drink all the time and it becomes an attachment. Remember, attachment is a sin, and alcohol is addictive. So you have running the risk of it becoming a sin because it's an addictive drink, substance. So no, it's not a sin, but it could become a sin. And remember, in addition to this, what comes out of you is more a sin than what goes inside of you. So moderation, I won't even say moderation, don't mind me, or just don't drink. It's just to help yourself, because I know alcohol is addictive and you could easily get attached to it. Anything that you're attached to is a sin. Do you remember that? Pastor Dr. Sunday spoke about it a few days ago. Any attachment is a sin. Okay? So, again, for the drinkers, okay, no, not really. Yeah, I'm only joking. All right, another question. Somebody says that, what are the key lessons that you have learned as a great leader, DSA?
What?
What are the key lessons you have learned as a great leader?
There are so many lessons. And every one of my teachings is a lesson that I've learned. If you want to know the great lessons I've learned, just take a look at the list of my daily broadcast. All those ones are great lessons. And just look at the series. There are 32 or 31 series, just the series alone. And topics over 700. So I could begin to mention them one by one, but when would I end?
No, sir. I think that this is more specific than that. Your answer is very broad.
Yes.
There are some key lessons. Maybe not mention everything, because obviously with your understanding, wisdom, level of even the teachings that you've got already, there's so many. But there's some key things, lessons of life, something that you have learned. Maybe you can mention even. I know if I say one, you could spend like an hour on one, but maybe short answers of 3 main lessons of life that you've learned. And I know everything is a big lecture, well, not a lecture. I know usually for Dr. Sunday, he doesn't answer in halves. So it's very difficult for him to just say, I learned this or this. He gives a full 360-degree answer. But in this case, key lessons of life, like snap of 3 things that you've learned.
I'm sorry that I'm not going to do it because I have, if you're asking me for 3, I have 30 coming to mind.
Oh my God.
It's good, so if I say 3, people will make a mistake of thinking that those are the 3 most important. But out of the 30 that will come to mind, it might be, I might not even mention, out of the 3 that you are talking about, I might not even mention the one that the person needs who is asking. So I'm hesitant of mentioning 3 because 3 will only meet the need of a few people, and they will only contribute to some certain percentages of the changes in me and of who I am. but they will not give a full account, and they will not be contributing to the main part of who I am and the lessons I've learned in life. So it's like I'm lying. And half the truth sometimes is not good. It's dangerous. It's as bad as lie. So I'm hesitant about that. Let them just go and follow my teaching. Just even don't listen to anything. Just go through the list. Then you begin to understand. Oh, the title of my book, the titles of my book.
Okay. Okay, fair and square. Somebody actually just advised me that I cannot put the essay in a box. I'm not trying to do that, but hey, I get you and I get him. You know, it's not just somebody that wants to just talk. He talks purposefully, you know, as you know already. And as a father as well, he doesn't like to mislead. He likes to give you full knowledge. So did you see the explanation he gave for not giving that answer just like 3? Because he doesn't want just to give 3 that one person or even 2, 300 people will get hold of and say those are his life lessons. There are many, many lessons, and you can obtain them from his playlist, the title that he's done over the last year. So go to Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube. YouTube is your friend. Google is your friend. So go and check those lists out and learn the lesson as he has learned it, rather than him giving us just 3, because he knows that 3 is not sufficient, and 3, he cannot give just 3 because it will not be his top 3. It will be unfair. Who thinks like that? Who does that, for God's sake?
No, but if the person that is asking that question is truly desperate, it will make his question more concrete. If he's somebody that is truly hungry for answers, for specific answer, he could tell me, okay, what are the 3 greatest lessons you've learned about family? Or what are the great lessons you've learned as a pastor? Or what are the great lessons you've learned as a leader? Or what are the great lessons you've learned concerning money? Or what are the great lessons you've learned about children? What are the or as a civil activist, as a popular person, or, you know, it has to be concrete. Then I will be able to help. But about life and about as a leader,
Great leader.
that is a long take.
Hint alert, guys. Hint, hint, hint. He's giving us a list of questions that we could ask. So, guys, if you've got your questions or you don't know what to ask, you can compose a question with this question and send it to me. Don't let me ask questions, because I'll just ask questions of what selfishly I want to know. So do it, and do it quick. But no, we could do it for the next few days, because we've only got a few days to go. So hint is, you can ask specific question from that question. I'll repeat the question. What are key lessons that you have learned as a great leader? So you could ask, what are the key lessons you've learned as a father, as a minister, as an activist? Any of those type of questions, or even more, as a foreigner in Ukraine, as whatever. Ask your question. That's a hint there. Okay. Right, let me move on. Right, this is likely to be our last question today, guys. Just warning you ahead. This person asks and says, "Sir, I watched one of your interview program on the net, and you were answering one of the questions concerning writing the non-existence of God on one of your exams when you were in school." Says, "Sir, are you sure that kind of exposure does not affect your rugged teaching?" Says a statement / question.
Is that a new question? Or
Yes, this was from yesterday, sir.
From yesterday,
Yeah.
and the person might not be there right now.
I don't think I've seen the person.
I don't understand. If you understand the question, you could help me with it.
Okay, I
understand what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That I had to answer questions and things like that. But what is his question is what I don't get.
Yeah, okay. From my understanding of this, about the rugged teaching, that you writing a paper so you must have done research about God and know a lot about God. Is that the reason why you you teach in the way that you teach now? Because from that research, when you were in school, you were very thorough. You did so much research, so much understanding to put that paper together. So that understanding then at such an early age in school gave you maybe I don't want to use the word ruggedness again.
Fortitude.
Yeah, fortitude.
But you have to read that question again.
Okay.
And be sure that the way your interpretation is correct.
Okay, let me read it out again. It says, I watched one of your interview program on the net, and you were answering one of the questions concerning writing the non-existence of God on one of your exams when you were in school. Sir, are you sure the kind of exposure are you sure that kind of exposure does not affect your rugged teaching? Actually, reading it the second time has given me a different I think we're going to kind of leave this question out. Reason is because it says you wrote the answer in an exam, so it's not even when you did a research. So if you did it as a paper that you handed in, maybe a project, I can understand that you spent time.
Let me explain to you the situation the guy is trying to refer to.
Okay.
What the guy is referring to is that I give an explanation of, or an example or instance of when I was in the university during communism. And as a foreign student studying journalism, but it doesn't matter what you study in the format of it, you've got to study Marxist-Leninist philosophy. And in that philosophy, under that philosophy, they have another subject that is called atheism, scientific atheism. And you've got to pass the exam. Okay. And atheism is saying that there is no God. And there are, scientific research, there are lectures, scientific lectures that prove that there is no God. So you go to the classes, and they teach you these classes to indoctrinate you that there is no God. And you study philosophy, Marxist and Leninist philosophy. And basically, they are saying there is no God. So, but without passing that exam, I would have been expelled from the university. And several other people did not pass that exam, either because they were Christians, so I thought that I was going to be expelled, and I didn't know how to pass that exam. And I was saying, because I will never say there is no God. Because I know there is God. God is my heart. So I was having a dilemma. I was just explaining about my dilemma that, how will I pass this exam? And that was when God spoke to me and said, the way to pass the exam is they are not asking you what you believe at the exam. What they are asking you at the exam is the material that they have taught you. You need to relate it back to them. Mm-hmm. So what God spoke to me is that they have taught you all this rubbish, lies. They didn't say you come and argue with them, either you agree or not. They are not asking for your opinion. They are saying you should give the exam. So as they are pouring that into you, swallow it, but never let it digest. Mm-hmm. When it is now exam time, go ahead and just pour it out to them the way they pour it into you. So that's what I did, and that's how I was able to finish my university. I did not digest it. I did not believe in it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I was so good in those two subjects, atheism and philosophy, that it helped me to develop my argument against atheism and communism and philosophy and Marxist philosophy. So I was able to go deep into understanding their mindset, how they think, and how to now study to convince them, and how to argue case against them, and use it. So my combination of knowing their mindset and knowing the scriptures makes me to be superior to them in any argument. And that's why I've been able to be effective when I now started ministering to the Russians, and we started having the Russian, I could speak to the intellectuals and things like that. So that has helped me on the other hand.
Yeah. Okay, wow. Now you know what you got today, how to pass exams. Don't go asking, when they ask you a question in the exam, you answer it according to what they've taught you. I wish my teachers have told me this when I was in school, because I'm thinking they want me to argue my own case of it. Guys, how to pass exams. Learn what they're teaching you and document them and give it to them as they're giving you. And then there's another thing. You know what that thing that we used to do? We can ingest it, swallow it, but don't let it digest. Look at that. You know when they give you a tablet and you don't want the tablet, especially in mental home. Well, I've not been to mental home before. I've seen you in the movie. And then they take it and they just put it at the back of their tongue. And then they'll throw it out once the nurse is around. So this is what this one is about as well. So, number one, you got lessons there on how to answer questions. Number two, yes, from what this person is saying, I don't know what the real question is, but the explanation Dr. Sunday gave us now, that about the exam that he was talking about, the studies that he has to do, that he did, maybe the question was surrounding that. I got an answer from it. I got an answer for this. I don't know if you did, but if the person did not get an answer, please come back with your full and more clearer question so that we could ask it again. But at least I have a background of what this is about now, and you do as well. So that background is that he has to do this subject that is against his understanding of God. He has to prove that God does not exist. And he struggled to do that, but in the end, God revealed to him that you just need to answer this as they have taught you. Give them back the trash that they gave you in detail. And he did it so well, and that also helped him in arguing with people in his ministry when they want to say that there's no God, and even getting people to God. So this is called knowledge is power in action. Okay? So
I don't think they're sharing there today.
Guys, you didn't share. I can tell. No, guys, share. Share this, right? I know we're almost finishing. I'm going to say my goodbyes soon with Dr. Sunday. But please, guys, you can still share. It's not too late. Share now. Copy the link also and send it to friends. I know a number of people are saying that they've been thrown out by Facebook, that they can't watch this particular live program, that they're able to watch other lives. I can see the notes on there. We will try and check out what the problem is, and if we can find the answer, we'll let you know. But you can also find out, you can contact Facebook and ask them what's going on with a particular video while you're not able to watch live program with them. So maybe they will be able to give you an answer. But again, I suspect there's an iOS update issue if you're using iPhone. If not, I don't know what it is, but we will get to the bottom of it. And the another way to resolve this is that it will go on YouTube very soon, within 24 hours. And if it does, you can re-watch it. You can watch it again at your own pace. And for those who are able to watch right now, do a kind deed and send it to your friends that you know that they want to watch, or even those that don't want to watch but they could benefit from it. Please send it to them. Just copy the link and send. You can do that. Copy and send. So please, guys, please share and let other people be blessed with this knowledge and this wisdom. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you one more time, right? Not one more time. I'm going to ask you several times. But for today, I'm going to ask you to please send your questions. Please send your question pertaining to Dr. Sunday's ministry and other things. You know, from asking one question, I thought the attack question, panic attack question, was not related to him. And with the answer that he even gave that he's had that before. So ask questions, but make sure that most of it are questions that is pertaining to him, because we only have a few days left to learn as much as we can about Dr. Sunday, his ministry, his life, and you know, he gives us so much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much empowering answers that can really help us. Today I've learned so much. I've learned to not to be self-righteous. That was the first thing I learned. I say that, but I need to now ingest, swallow, and believe it, and stop being self-righteous. Okay, guys, I want to thank you. Keep your interest coming for the contest. The contest ends very soon. You've only got until the 25th of May, which is on Thursday, and the contest will be closed. So please keep them coming. And secondly, please share this. Share. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back. I will be back with Pastor Derek at between 5 and 5:30, and Pastor Sunday will definitely be back with the Ukrainians / Russians. The mixture. There's a mixed bag here. At 7 p.m. Ukraine time, and I'll be back again with him same time at 9 p.m. Ukrainian time. Right, I thank you again. Please share. I appreciate you for watching. Please help people out. If they're not able to watch, send them this link. Don't forget to do that. And we will see you tomorrow. Okay? Thank you and have a pleasant evening. Bye.